Okay, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right, guys, it is Friday, July 3rd. Happy night before July 4th. There should be a name for this day. I guess there is, July 3rd. Anyway, what we're going to be doing tonight, and we do have 2 videos on tap for this evening. Yes, that's right, two. Anyway, we're going to start off with Q and get that all caught up, and then we're going to get into the news. And let me tell you, there's a lot happening, a lot. Really been on news overload for the last couple days. Anyway, let's get into it, and we will just dig in and get to the meat. All right. Well, we're picking up exactly where I left off in the last Q video, and we are picking up with drop 4561. Biden and DNC outraise Trump and RNC during blockbuster fundraising month. Gee, wonder why they could have had such a massive month of fundraising for the Democrats. Gee, what could that be? What could that be? Could it be Black Lives Matter? Well, of course, because all the money that's raised for that is going into the DNC, namely Joe Biden's campaign. So, yeah, we know why that happened. I don't know why that isn't considering interfering in an election, because, I mean, it's not like they come right out and say, look, when you donate to Black Lives Matter, we just give it to Joe Biden. Well, why don't they just tell people to give it to Joe Biden in the first place without laundering it through Act Blue? Well, they never do things above board, it seems. Anyway, it says here, and this is a drop from the 1st of July, 2020, just, well, 3 days ago. Black Lives Matter is a front to funnel cash donations to Biden, promoters, and other Democrat service providers. And that's exactly what it is. So if you are giving to Black Lives Matter and you're thinking that it's going into maybe educational funds or scholarships for Black students, or housing or social programs or whatever to benefit the Black population, you would be sorely mistaken. All right, and we can remember this because it was just a couple days ago we covered this. What percentage of total Black Lives Matter donations between June 1st and July 1st went to the Biden campaign for president? What percentage of total of Biden's campaign for president donations, money raised, came from Black Lives Matter donations past month? And we looked at all this a couple days ago, so I'm not going to revisit that, but Q has added this as well. And this is actually, well, I'm not sure of the date, but it says how big tech, Antifa, mainstream media are using aggression, suppression, and censorship too. And Q leaves us with a link here and says, what a coincidence. Nothing to see here. Q. Well, let's just take a gander over to this website. And it says Biden and DNC outraised Trump and RNC during blockbuster fundraising month. Well, I guess if all the donors, if you were raising money for something that was all over the news and splashed in your face every single day, if that was Trump that it was going to benefit, well, he would have had a banner month as well. So I just think that it would be, I just think it would be wise to let people know exactly where their money is going, instead of just people are being emotional about this and feeling guilty for their whiteness, which is ridiculous. I can't help my skin color. You can't help your skin color, no matter what color your skin is. It's not something within our, realm of control. So I think it's ridiculous, but people are giving out of guilt and so forth to this, and they have no idea where the money's going. President Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden both set eye-dropping fundraising records last month, but Biden's records were larger. The former vice president's campaign announced on Wednesday night that they, the Democrat National Committee, and their joint fundraising committees hauled in a combined $141 million in June, which was by far the campaign's best monthly figure to date. Gee, I wonder how far that $141 million would have gone if it actually went to Black lives. You know, scholarships. That would be a good idea. All sorts of things. Anything would be better than it going to Joe Biden, who really stands no chance of being president. I mean, if he, my gosh, I wouldn't even want to imagine, you know, the United States with Joe Biden as president. I mean, that would be absolutely catastrophic, and the country would never recover from that. I don't think. Anyway. We just read that. Biden's campaign called it a jaw-dropping sum of money. Well, I bet they did. It is a jaw-dropping sum of money. Raised deceptively. The presumptive Democratic presidential nominee's campaign also reported bringing in a combined $282 million with the DNC during the April-June second quarter of fundraising, which was another record. And officials touted that the DNC outraised their rivals for a second straight month. We're still crunching the numbers, but here's what we know. We raised $141 million in June. 68% of our donors were new. Of course they were. Yeah. We added 2.6 million people to our list, 282.1 million for the quarter. There's real grassroots energy for Joe. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. I mean, do you see this guy? He doesn't even look like he has the energy to get up and get a cup of coffee. Really, he just like... there's no light in his eyes. There's nothing that even looks like there's anything behind those eyes. He's just dead. And I don't know. I don't think he'd have the energy to even make it through one day of President Trump's schedule. I'd like to see that, actually. I'd like to see him, you know, go through a day like President Trump has to. I don't know how President Trump does it. I really don't. I've never seen someone with that much energy. Anyway, the announcement from Biden's team came just a couple of hours after the president's re-election campaign reported that they, the Republican National Committee, and their joint fundraising ventures brought in a combined $131 million in June and more than $266 million the past 3 months. The June and second quarter hauls were both records for the Trump campaign and the RNC. Trump's team described the fundraising figures as massive and staggering. And here, this is by Brad Parscale. Huge fundraising for real Donald Trump in June, record $131 million, eclipsing any single month in 2016, record $266 million in quarter two, $295 million cash on hand, and $947 million total raised. Americans voting with their wallet supporting the president. Yes, they are. And that fundraising isn't done deceptively. People know they're giving to Trump when they donate. While being edged out for a second straight month in fundraising, the Trump campaign and the RNC likely retain an enormous cash-on-hand advantage over the Biden campaign and the DNC. The president's team and the RNC reported having over $295 million in their campaign coffers. The Biden campaign and the DNC didn't report a cash-on-hand figure in their Wednesday night release. They had a combined $122 million in the bank as of the end of May. Yeah, they're probably spending it just as fast as they get it. They're probably putting it in each other's pockets, is what they're doing. And in an email to supporters, Biden campaign manager Jen O'Malley Dillon called the fundraising figures incredibly exciting. And that's the only thing about the campaign that's exciting, because Joe Biden isn't. And said they were a true testament that the people are standing behind Joe Biden. I don't think so. Yeah, they're standing behind him with their arms up his hinder parts, making him talk, because he's controlled. Totally controlled. The campaign spotlighted its grassroots outreach and fundraising. The campaign spotlighted its grassroots outreach and fundraising, reporting that 68% of last month's donors were new and that the overall average online contribution was $34. Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale, in reporting their fundraising figures, said that the monumental June fundraising haul proves that people are voting with their wallets and that enthusiasm behind President Trump's re-election is only growing. And RNC chair Ronna McDaniel emphasized that after yet another haul of record-breaking support, the voters are speaking loud and clear. They support President Trump. The president's been raising money for his re-election bid since entering the White House 3.5 years ago, and the re-election efforts hauled in an unprecedented $947 million in the past 2 years. The former vice president, who declared his candidacy in April of last year, struggled to bring in cash for much of his campaign, and then, miraculously, right after the riots, wow, he's got all this money. Gee, what a coincidence. Anyway, but he saw his fundraising spike starting in March. Gee, March, what happened in March? Yeah. And he became the clear front runner for the Democratic nomination, and much of the party coalesced around his White House bid. Biden became the presumptive presidential nominee in April as his last remaining primary rival, Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, dropped out of the race and backed the former vice president. Well, what choice did he have? The fundraising reports come as Biden's widened his lead over Trump. In what world? Not in this one. Yeah, they can report all the polls they want. They're fake. There is not a chance people are voting for Joe Biden. Probably only the ones that have Trump derangement syndrome really badly, like Hollywood and the people that would likely go to jail. Those people are behind Biden. Can't imagine why. Along the polls, fundraising is another crucial campaign metric. The fundraising dollars can be used by candidates to hire more staffers, increase grassroots voter outreach efforts, and produce and run TV, digital, radio, print ads, and direct mail. So there you go. There you go. And there you go. Nothing surprising there. And let's go back now because, there's more. And of course, Q says the same. What a coincidence. Nothing to see here. Move along. Okay, and now we're on to really, really, really good news. Ghislaine Maxwell, longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate, arrested. Uh-oh. I bet you that half of Washington, D.C., and probably 3/4 of Hollywood are crapping their pants. I'm sorry to be so crude, but it's true. All right. And this leads to a New York Post article, and it says, "It has happened." Now, somebody was ragging on me the other day in the comments about me using a New York, what is it? Is it the New York? Yeah, the New York Post. And I think I had, and this video, the video that they were complaining about this was a video that I did on Q. So the only links that I'm linking to when I'm reporting on Q is the ones he has provided. So yeah, the person that was saying that, basically I'm not awake because I linked to the New York Post. It was Q. Just wanted to pass that along. All right. So he posts, "It has happened." And then down here, he's included this from the 20th of June, 2020. And he's saying, Southern District of New York, importance of Southern District of New York control, jurisdiction, Wiener evidence collection, Clinton Foundation, Epstein evidence collection, Ukraine, focus on above for now. Watch New York City. The guards refusing to step down, POTUS refusal to formally nominate, appointed to post by Southern District of New York judges, unusual, removal of acting. The stakes are high, they will fight, Super Bowl, puppy show, not sure what that means, but Q. Now, what he is saying here is that, isn't it interesting that the, the guy, what was his name? The guy from the Southern District of New York that was shown the door. Well, he was over and was stalling, acting as a roadblock to the Clinton Foundation evidence, Wiener evidence collection, Ukraine, and Epstein. So isn't it interesting that he's gone and now Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested? I don't think that's a coincidence. Personally, I don't think it's a coincidence at all. All right, now down here is a drop from January 28th, 20, and it says, "You think we highlighted Epstein for no reason, did you? Those who were once protected are no longer. Timing is everything. Hunters become prey." Q. Now, for some reason, I did not include the link to this article, but I think we're all aware by now because this was on the 2nd, and well, I guess that was just yesterday. Maybe I should go out and find it for you guys. I'm not reading it all though. You can't make me. I'm just kidding. I'm in a very, very strange mood tonight. I'm not sure why. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of things that happen this weekend. And I'm not sure whether they're good or bad, but I just feel like something monumental is on the horizon. All right, let's go here and find this, just because we can. Okay, here we are. Yeah, let's go. Ghislaine Maxwell, longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate, arrested. That is good news for everyone, especially, I'm sure, for all the children, and they were children, abused, and probably many of whom are no longer alive. Longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested Thursday on a 6-count indictment charging her with grooming young girls for sex. The British socialite, 58, was arrested by the FBI in New Hampshire around 8:30 a.m., authorities said. The just unsealed indictment charges stem from Maxwell's role in the sexual exploitation and abuse of multiple minor girls by Jeffrey Epstein as early as 1994, court papers say. The victims were as young as 14 years old when they were groomed and abused children by Maxwell and Epstein, both of whom knew that certain victims were in fact under the age of 18, the indictment says. She is specifically accused of grooming 3 underage victims for sex with Epstein in places including his Upper East Side townhouse, Florida, New Mexico, and London. And don't be, I look at this and I think, oh, is that all she's charged with? But let me tell you, probably in the process of investigating this, there's going to be more, because my gosh, that woman is a walking felon, really. And they have hired, I've heard, the best of bodyguards. They want to keep her alive, and I'm sure they're going to be making sure that she stays alive, and they'll, no doubt, keep the Clintons away from her. Yeah. Maxwell is charged with 6 counts, okay? Conspiracy to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sexual acts, enticement of a minor to travel to engage in illegal sexual acts, conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and 2 counts of perjury. Prosecutors also accused Maxwell, a one-time girlfriend of Epstein, of repeatedly lying about her involvement in the financier's sex trafficking ring during a 2016 deposition. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan is expected to announce the charges at a noon press conference. Her arrest comes almost a year after Epstein was busted on federal sex trafficking charges on July 6, 2019. He committed suicide in August, a day after some 2,000 court documents were unsealed in a related civil case revealing details of his alleged sex ring. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Prosecutors continue investigating his alleged crimes, leaving open the possibility that his associates could be arrested. Maxwell went into hiding after the convicted pedophile's death. Sources told the Post she was arrested in a house in the woods that she bought under an LLC in December. She worked to keep her whereabouts secret, hopping from place to place within the U.S., sources added. The FBI said Maxwell was busted in Bradford, New New Hampshire, a rural town of 1,650 residents. Boy, I bet you they were shocked. Seriously. You know, if you're from a small town, you've only got, 1,650 residents, and you find out that somebody of, that important and wanted is living in your town. I think that would shock me. Maxwell's, the daughter of a media mogul, Robert Maxwell, who also had an address in London, has long been accused of grooming young girls to have sex with Epstein and his inner circle of powerful pals. One of the most vocal Epstein victims, Virginia Roberts Jeffrey, accused Maxwell of recruiting her as a teen in a 2015 defamation suit that has since been settled. Maxwell allegedly perjured herself during a deposition in Jeffrey's suit by claiming she knew nothing about Epstein having sex with underage girls. I mean, everybody knew. Everyone in their social circle knew. Jeffrey claims she was forced to have sex with Epstein and his close friend, Prince Andrew. And I bet you he is panicking right about now. Maxwell and Andrew have vehemently denied the claims. Prosecutors said that, well, there's pictures. Hello. Maxwell and Andrew have vehemently denied the claims. Prosecutors said that their investigation into Maxwell and Epstein is ongoing, leaving open the possibility that more charges are coming. Lawyers for Maxwell and others have recently been fighting the potential release of secret court documents related to Jeffrey's suit, including portions of the 2016 deposition about Maxwell's sex life. We don't care about her sex life. We just care about her crimes. Another alleged victim, Jennifer I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, I'm sorry, came forward last year claiming she was just 14 when Maxwell befriended her at her performing arts school in Manhattan and convinced her to work as Epstein's masseuse. She claimed Epstein estate and Maxwell, she sued Epstein's estate and Maxwell, claiming he raped her during a massage session. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Other women have filed similar suits, claiming they too were recruited by Maxwell and sexually abused by Epstein. Last week, the alleged victim was greenlit to begin applying for monetary relief through an independently run victims' compensation fund. Maxwell is expected to appear in New Hampshire federal court via video Thursday afternoon. Prosecutors have filed a memo asking she be held without bail, noting her wealth, lack of ties to the U.S., and 3 passports. 3. Several victims celebrated the news of Maxwell's arrest. I'm sure they did. In fact, I think a lot of people celebrated that, myself included. I was extremely happy to hear that because someone like that doesn't just stop abusing. And I don't believe that, she was just doing it for Epstein. Yeah, there was... Who knows? I'm hoping that, although probably a lot of the details we don't want to know, but I am hoping that it all comes out. All right. Well, let's go back now and continue on with Q. I know I said I wasn't going to read it, and then I did. I'm just such a contradiction. All right. Okay, and let's look at this. Feds arrest ringleader in attack on Andrew Jackson statue by White House. Yes, that's good news as well. Alrighty. And this is the link that Q has provided. Feds arrest ringleader in attack on Andrew Jackson statue by White House. That is not a well-written, headline, because it makes it sound like the White House attacked the statue. An attack on Andrew Jackson statue by White House. It should say, I don't know what they're trying to say. Well, I do, that the ringleader was arrested, but I don't know what they're saying about the White House. Jason Charter was arrested at his residence Thursday morning, sources say. Woohoo! Good. Hope more of them get arrested. Federal law enforcement officials on Thursday arrested a man in Washington they call a ringleader in the recent attempt to destroy the Andrew Jackson statue in Lafayette Square near the White House. That's what they should have said, near the White House. Law enforcement sources tell Fox News that there's no editors anymore. I'm sorry, I'm chasing a squirrel here, but there's just no editors anymore. I think they fired them all. They're probably in the bottom of a lake somewhere, because it's quite evident that all the editors have left the planet. Law enforcement sources tell Fox News that Jason Charter was arrested at his residence Thursday morning without incident and charged with destruction of federal property. He was arrested by the FBI and U.S. Park Police as part of a joint task force. The sources added that Charter has connections to Antifa. No, you don't say. And was in a leadership role on the night of June 22nd when a large group of protesters tried to pull down the statue, but they didn't succeed. They were very organized, a federal law enforcement official said. Charter was on top of the statue and directing people. They had acid, chisels, straps, and a human chain preventing police from getting to the statue. The FBI's criminal complaint against Charter attaches screen grabs of local news videos and accuses him of also being involved in the destruction of the Albert Pike historical statue in Washington this month. Citing local news video, the FBI alleges that Charter is seen standing over the toppled Pike statue, pouring an unknown liquid onto the statue, which I'm sure was acid, so that they couldn't just put it back up again. The complaint said he is then observed waving others away from the statue and squatting down behind the statue where his hands are not visible. Seconds later, the statue catches fire. Charter is seen standing over the flames as it burns. As for the events at Lafayette Park, the complaint said at the Jackson statue incident, Charter is additionally seen wearing a red set of ski goggles and a yellow ventilator mask. Charter's face is clearly visible at different times during the incident, each incident. The complaint also cites a tweet from a Twitter account with the name Jason Carter that says tearing down statues of traitors to the nation is a service to this nation, not a crime. Well, whatever you say, but you're still going to jail. The complaint also says Charter participated in a June 26 protest at Lincoln Park in Washington, where demonstrators were calling for the removal of a statue of Abraham Lincoln, and is alleged to have assaulted an individual who later filed an assault charge with an assault report with the police. Charter is expected to make an appearance, likely virtual, in U.S. District Court in Washington on Thursday, Fox News is told. Prosecutors say the Andrew Jackson statue is offensive because he was a slave owner and because of his treatment of Native Americans. Another man, they didn't actually topple that statue, did they? The one in Lafayette Park, not the Andrew Jackson one. The Jackson statue. I'm sorry, I'm getting all these statues mixed up because there's so many of them that they're tearing down. But I don't think they actually succeeded with that one. Prosecutors say the Andrew Jackson statue is offensive, blah, 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 blah. Another man, Graham Lloyd, 37, turned himself in for similar charges in Portland, Maine, and had an initial appearance in federal court there on Wednesday afternoon. Lloyd is also accused of destruction of federal property for his role in the attempt to take down the Jackson statue. So that's what I thought. They attempted, they were not successful. A magistrate judge in Maine has transferred Lloyd's case to federal court in Washington, D.C. These arrests come in the wake of the June 24th executive order signed by President Trump intended to protect monuments and statues. Trump tweeted, "I just had the privilege of signing a very strong executive order protecting American monuments, memorials, and statues, and combating recent criminal violence, long prison terms for these lawless acts against our great country." And yeah, those statues belong to all of us. All of us. They belong to the nation. They were paid for with taxpayer money. So they don't have the right to just go in and tear them down because they find it offensive. I find lots of things offensive. I find the statue of Obama in Wisconsin offensive. Why don't they tear that down? I find the statue of Baphomet, I find that offensive. But, just because you find something offensive, and these people are so offended by every single thing, everything is offensive to them. So, it's pretty hard. I think they've grown up having their own way, winning participation medals that they didn't deserve, and they think that, hey, this is okay. It's not. Okay. Now, let's go back. And it says these sources add that Charter has connections to Antifa. Well, of course he does. And if you look at his bank account, where his money's coming from, you know it's coming from Soros. Okay, now let's look at this. I should have made these bigger. I know you guys, some of you guys are on your tiny phones, aren't you? I know. Last of the Mohicans is one of the top pre-mission songs for combat operations. Perhaps some understood the significance of the music posted yesterday, how many of our brothers and sisters play this song prior to the drop. LZ. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Prior to the drop. LZ. Not sure. Do you guys know what? You know, I don't know everything. It takes all of us. You guys teach me probably as much or more than I ever show you or tell you or whatever. Okay, well, now I know what song he's talking about. It was a song that I couldn't play because it is copyrighted. So, but Last of the Mohicans, I didn't know. Who knew? Did you? Me neither. You probably knew. Okay, and let's go to this. Drop 4565. Is Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest more significant than Jeffrey Epstein's arrest? Huh. Isn't that interesting? I think she was his handler. That's what I think. Possible Epstein was a puppet, not the main persons of interest. Well, let that sink in. Because if she's more important and more significant than Jeffrey Epstein, which is clearly what he's saying, because it's clearly what he's saying. Financed by who or what foreign entities? Primary, gather blackmail on elected politicians, dignitaries, royalty, Hollywood influencers, Wall Street, and other financial top-level players, other high-profile industry-specific people, etc. 2, feed an addiction, controllable. Maxwell family background, Robert Maxwell history, intel agency, wealth, classified 1 to 99. There's that classified 1 to 99 again. Sometimes it's the people in the background that are of greater significance. Oh, absolutely. Because the people that we see, most of them are being controlled. People like the Hill Dog and Bill Clinton. I mean, I think that he's led around by what's in his pants. I really do. Because I think he's been having affairs the whole time he's been married to Hillary, because I don't think Hillary's into men personally, and I know that's a little crude, but I just don't. And I don't know. I don't know what kind of a man would want to have a romantic relationship with Hillary, because, I mean, she's bristly. I mean, you can't hug that. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. All right, and now we are on drop 4566. And not just Hillary, but a lot of the people that we see, just like AOC. Do you really think she got there by herself? She didn't, and she's being funded. And not only that, she applied for the role. She's an actress. She's just playing the part. Not very well either. All right. Now, he's also left us a, I'm sorry. My mind is just kind of wandering around somewhere, and I keep calling it to come back. Come back. Come back. But it's just wandering everywhere. It's like there's squirrels everywhere. All right. So here we are on drop 4566. Is Ghislaine Maxwell marker number 9 on the countdown? Yes, she is. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, she is. And let's go to this Twitter, because that's where Q wants us to go. So let's check out what he's saying. And it's this. From an anon on the boards. A good dig. A good dig indeed. Now this is drop 3716 from the 17th of December 2019. It says first indictment, unseal. She's the first indictment that's been unsealed. She's the first. First indictment unsealed will trigger mass population awakening. Woohoo! First arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. Again, I say, woohoo! They will fight, but you are ready. Marker number 9. Q. So we know that marker number 9 is the first unsealed indictment and the first arrest. And we also know that it will trigger a mass population awakening. Let's go to the next thing that they highlight here, and it is very blurry. The countdown. We are at step 3. And look at here. We have Flynn, DOJ, dismiss week 1, FISA unmasked, D-class, public, select dates, week 2, classified 1 to 99, week 3. You are here. And what do we have here? Number 9. Marker number 9. That's where we are. That's where we are. Believe it or not. Okay. So, it says impressive, most impressive argument. Maxwell is not a big enough name to trigger a mass awakening. Example, counter argument. Do not make statements based on assumption of worth and or value. Do not think today, but rather after today. One leads to another, to another, to another. One leads to many. Crimes against children equals common denominator. No matter political affiliation, mass population awakening, have faith in humanity. So it's not actually the unsealing of her indictment or her arrest that's going to trigger the awakening. It's what comes after. It's probably what gets revealed during the process, which makes her a very high candidate to commit suicide, which is why they are watching her like a hawk. And, all these names are going to come out. She's going to sing like a canary to get less time or to even just to save her life. So, yeah, if I was those people like Bill Clinton and the other people that were on her little Lolita Express there, and that she ferried to and from with her submarine to the island, when she starts naming names, people are going to pay attention. Because one thing people don't put up with, especially conservative, God-fearing people, they don't put up with pedophiles. It disgusts them. You mention that, you start talking about pedophiles, and I don't know one person in my circle that doesn't go, I know, I don't know how anybody could do that to a child. Yeah, they don't put up with that. And when pedophiles get to prison, it isn't pretty. It isn't pretty because prisoners do not like pedophiles. Anybody that harms a child or hurts a woman, a lot of times they're far, far lower on the pecking order in prison. So, yeah, a little good news here. Not good news for her, certainly good news for her victims, and good news for the country at large. Okay, and this is drop 4567, and this is a redrop. Hillary Clinton and Foundation crime against children. Remember this when Fox News put this, and this was on the Wiener laptop, and it said, Wiener texting 15-year-old sexually explicit, initial analysis of laptop, thousands of emails, Hillary Clinton and Foundation, crime against children. Well, we know. We already know. And then there was that picture of Chuck Schumer with a young girl. What was that all about? I think there's a whole bunch of them involved in this. And I don't think I'm not saying it's just Democrats. I'm sure there's a bunch of Republicans involved as well. But time is going to tell who they are and to what extent they were involved. And now we are on to drop 4568, Virginia Roberts with Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, there they all are. And Prince Andrew claims, no, it's all a lie. I don't even know this woman. Well, then why's your hand around her bare midriff? Randy Andy. I think we'd all like to know. Picture speaks for itself. Oh, and then who's this? That's right. It's Bill Clinton with Ghislaine Maxwell. They look awfully cozy too, don't they? Yeah, they definitely know one another and are friends. Well, obviously they're friends because Ghislaine was invited to Chelsea's wedding. Yeah, all right. And let's come down here. I should have made these bigger. All right, and we're on drop 4570. 4570. 3 sex abusers, traffickers down: Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, and those are big dogs too. So, wonder what, you know, and I don't know. I know people probably think this is crazy, but sometimes I wonder if Jeffrey Epstein is actually still alive and if they faked all that to make people think that he was suicided, because, you know, it would probably put some people to rest, you know, that, oh, well, he can't talk now, he's dead. But I just wonder if he's actually alive and in witness protection and spilling his guts. I don't know. I mean, one way or another, it's going to all come out, but it would just be interesting to know. All right, and Patriot takes the oath. Thank you, Sam. We are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. And let's go here. And hang on here.
And defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of this office in which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all. Patriots, let's unite. Let's stay in prayer, because our great republic and Constitution is built upon a foundation from this good book. Let us stay in prayer for the people, for our leaders, and for our president. We are the light that shines through the darkness, and the darkness has not overtaken it. To quote a famous patriot, Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support and defend
the main thing I take away from that is stay in prayer. I'm not one for taking oaths, so I will not be doing that because the Bible says not to take oaths. Yeah. It says let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. And so anyway, there we go. That's just my opinion, and I'm not pushing that on anyone else. You do as you wish and as you feel is right and best for you. All right, now let's go here. And it says, Trust Dan Scavino, video soundtrack with Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. And unfortunately, I can't play this for you guys. So, and I think this is the one with the music in it. Let me just see here. Wait. Yeah, I can't play this. It says, wow, this is so powerful. And yes, the choice of song did not go unnoticed. So I'm sorry that I can't play this. But yeah, what I'll do, and I know I say this and then I always forget, but I'm going to try to remember to place it in the link so that you can go to it and view it for yourself. But if I do it, then I'm going to get a copyright strike. And, you know, I don't like that because I've got one and I think it's 3 and you're out. So I don't want to get any more. All right, let's go back now. And this just says Trust Dan. So interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Oh, and look at this. This is Bill Clinton pictured with his arm around Epstein's private masseuse, Shantae Davies. Well, Yeah. Interesting. I think it speaks for itself. And here, again, we've seen this before. Q has provided this again. Bill Clinton with Rachel Chandler. And we know that she also procured women for Epstein and for the island. And it's very, very important guess, because the people that went there were some very, very powerful men, politically, and women, and many from Hollywood were there as well, being blackmailed so that they could be controlled. And here we are, Bill Clinton pictured on humanitarian trip to Africa with Ghislaine Maxwell in the foreground. And yes, she is. Gee, wonder what they were doing in Africa. And there she is. And there he is. And somebody's singing to them. Alrighty. And now, drop 4576, Shantae Davies, an Epstein rape survivor pictured with other young girls on Epstein Island. And their faces are blacked out because they have not come forward. I hope they're alive. I don't think all the girls made it off the island. I think that we can assume that from things that Q has said. Now, we are now on drop 4577, list of notable people, including popular Hollywood stars and directors. Yeah, well, that was too small to read, so let's make this bigger so that we can see it. And it's blurry, but I'm just going to name maybe some names that we might recognize, like Alan Dershowitz, Alec Baldwin, Alyssa Rogers, not sure who that is, Anderson Cooper, Barack Obama, that's not surprising, Ben Affleck, that is surprising to me, but Beyonce Knowles, we never really know these people. I mean, you may see them in movies and things and think, oh, I like them, but we don't ever really know them. Beyonce Knowles, not surprising, Bill Clinton, Bill Hammond, Bill Murray, Brian Affleck, Casey Wasserman, Charlie Sheen, Chelsea Handler, Chris Tucker, not sure who that is, Chris Wagner, Chrissy Teigen, no wonder she hates Trump so much, Cindy Lopez, Courtney Love, David Koch, I never know how to pronounce that name, Koch, Demi Moore, Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously, Gwen Stefani, and some of these names I don't know, and you may look at them and go, oh, I know who that is, and just because I don't know them doesn't mean you don't. Jeffrey Epstein, of course. He's actually on there twice. I'm not sure why. Jim Carrey. Another rabid hater of Trump. John Cusack. John Legend. Who else? Kathy Griffin. Well, now we know why they all hate Trump. And Katy Perry, whose real name is Catherine Elizabeth Hudson. Kevin Spacey, we knew that. Larry Summers sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is. Madonna, that's not surprising. Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, that's not surprising either. Mark Epstein. Meryl Streep, not surprising. Naomi Campbell, Michelle Wolf. Oh, isn't that comedian that isn't funny? Yeah. Now we know. Meryl Streep, Naomi Campbell, Oprah Winfrey. Wonder what she was doing there. I'm sure she was just sitting by the water sipping mint juleps. I'm sure there was nothing nefarious. Who else? Paula Epstein, whoever that is. Quentin Tarantino, Ralph Ellison, oh, let's see here. Robert Downey Jr., Rodney Slater, Ron Burke, Sandy Berger, Sarah Gellin, Seth Green, Sean Carter, Stephen Colbert, Steven Tyler. Oh, yes. Makes sense. All rabid haters of Trump. Steven Spielberg. Well, Stephanie Germanotta, who is Lady Gaga. Yep. Tom Hanks. Virginia Roberts. Wanda Sykes, Will Ferrell, and Will Smith, none of whom are surprising to me, and probably not to you either, and Woody Allen. Well, of course, Woody Allen. He's the most famous pedophile. All right, so kind of answers the question as to why these people hate Trump so much. I bet you they are just having fits right now. And in case you're wondering what the big deal is, remember this? The security, this is drop 4578, security cam footage of the dungeons under the Epstein Island tunnel. Many people believe that this is Hillary Clinton. I don't know. It's too blurry to be able to make a definitive. Somebody has also stated they think that it's Nancy Pelosi. I don't know. But I do know that this picture over here is the dining room, and you can guess what they're dining on. Yes, there's people that have enhanced this, and yes, you can see it. Not that you'd want to. Now, this is drop 4579. Redrop, Prince Andrew connection with Rachel Chandler. Well, of course, we know that they're connected. He can deny it all he wants, but he's just such a bad liar. Really bad liar. Prince Andrew is deeply connected to Ray Chandler, and this was from the 20th of March, 2019. Remember this? Yep. Yeah, they look friendly. He looks awfully happy. Prince Andrew is deeply connected. Q. Yes, he is. And this is the last drop from the 2nd of July, and it brings us completely up to date with Q. Young girl using sign language to thank deaf mailman. Note questionable, goodable profile pic. I don't know what that means. Goodable. I don't know. It says, have faith in humanity. Why didn't I put the link in there? Why? Because my mind is off vacationing without me. All right, that's not what I want. I don't want to look at myself. Let's go back here. Let's go up here because I want to be sure that you see this. And let's click on here. Oh, well, look at this. That's why I didn't put it in there. Well, I can say that now. Isn't that interesting? It's gone. Now, I did see this the other day, and it was a picture of a little girl thanking a mailman in sign language, and he signs back to her, and I thought it was just the most adorable thing ever. Why anybody would remove that tweet is beyond me. Maybe because the mailman was black and the little girl was white. I don't know. Who knows anymore? Everything's offensive to these people. Everything. So, I don't know, but I can't show you what isn't there. All right, so that is it for Q. That brings us completely up to date. Yeah, so I'm going to be back. That's a warning. And I'm going to be bringing you the news. And actually, I probably have like at least 2 videos full of news, but we'll make it one for tonight. And then tomorrow we'll get caught up again unless there's more Q. And then, of course, we'll have to do that. So anyway. You guys have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and enjoy your 4th of July tomorrow. Happy Independence Day. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Good night, guys.